Hey everybody, I'm back with more Instagram live videos for you. Remember, this was like a challenge series, so I think I did like over 90 days in a row of guided meditations on Instagram. So I didn't edit it, I didn't really format anything. If you want to skip ahead to the part where we actually start the meditation, I always say hello to everybody. I talk a little bit about mindset, I do a guided meditation, and then I answer questions and say some hellos at the end, just so you know the structure there. Um, that said, I have been meditating my whole life. I've been doing this for a really long time. I love coming from an aspect of neuroscience and mindset. And yeah, I mean, I would love for you to join my community and subscribe and like and all of that stuff, but I also just want you to get something out of this. I hope that you find as much peace and connection to your true self as I do when I meditate. I don't meditate for the calmness. I do feel calm for meditating. I always meditate to remember who I am. It's my time to get back to myself, and I hope that this is the same for you. Take care, everybody. Stay safe. Hey everyone, sorry I'm a couple minutes late. I promised that I would go live and answer your questions. I know we've been doing the meditations for a few nights in a row. Hi beautiful, how are you? How are you, gorgeous? How's everything going? Hi, Severin. Hello. Oh, hugs and kisses back. Yeah. So how's it going? What's going on? What's going on for everybody today? Anyone have questions about the meditations we've been doing? Which is pretty much why I'm here. Hi, Altaf. How are you? How's it going? See, I don't know. I don't know how people do this. Well, how they like look at do the video and look at the things below. I'm doing well. How are you? Uh, yeah, it's like that right now, isn't it? All the stress, all the emotion. Good afternoon to you, or good evening. Hey there, lovely. Yeah, I think one of the things that I've really been talking about, and we're going to do another meditation tonight, another guided meditation process tonight, again, really focused on energy and restoration. It'll be guided for sleep. Hi, Amy. How are you? I miss you. Um, hello. Hello. I'm going to be doing another guided meditation this evening at 10 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So sorry for those of you in Toronto because I know it's 1 a.m. there, but hey, it's for sleep. So if you can't sleep, then maybe tune in anyways. Hi, Mike. How are you? Hi, Maylee. Yeah. So I guess my question is, how is everyone doing? Two, do you have any questions about the meditations that have been going up on Why Yoga every evening? I'm going to try and post some of them in my stories from the IGTV from the last few days. We're going to be doing these until Monday night will be the last one on Why Yoga, and then I'm going to keep them going from my channels. Yes. Yeah, if you can, pop in. Otherwise, they will be in the stories, and you can always watch the ones from yesterday. And they're in IGTV. Yeah. So, oh yeah, I would love to see you this evening/morning, Amy. I miss you. I miss your hugs. We got to go back to Bali next year. Hi, Steve. How are you? Hi, Katie. Hey, lovely. How are you? So what's everybody been up to today? Like, what are you guys doing? Oh, my pleasure. Yeah. Oh, I've got family. It's actually New Year's today, so I want to wish everyone a very, very happy New Year. I'm hanging with my family with a little bit of social distancing. Um, oh, thanks, Mike. That's so kind of you to say. Yes, to Bali. Yeah. My dad, I think, wants to come and say Happy New Year to everybody. Hi, Shanti. How are you? Um, again, just wishing everybody Happy New Year. Yeah, right? Like, I'm enjoying it myself as well. Dad, do you want to come say Happy New Year to everybody?
Who's everybody?
My dad's gonna come lean in and say Happy New Year. It was also his birthday on Wednesday.
Hi. Happy New Year.
Come closer.
Hello. Happy New Year to you all.
This is my dad. Can I say how old you turn? No, he doesn't want you to know, but he looks good. Just FYI, he looks good.
I'm 45 plus 5 years on top, so 50.
This is the closest I think we've gotten in a week because we've been doing like at-home social distancing. Oh, everyone's saying happy birthday to you, Dad.
Oh,
Akil's there. Hi, Akil.
Hi, thank you.
Thank you, Shanti. Thank you, Steve.
Thank you.
Yeah, it was a big one. It was a big one. Oh, yeah, he does look amazing, right, Amy? Thanks. Oh, Mike's saying happy 40th.
Oh, thank you.
Hi, Rod. Hi, Roderick. Everyone's tuning
Thanks
in
a lot.
to say
Thank
happy
you so
birthday.
much. Thank you.
Yeah. What do you want help with?
Printer Wi-Fi setup.
Oh, okay. I'll try to figure it out. My dad is asking me. We just we upgraded our at-home internet service to fiber optics, which we hadn't done it up until now, which is why I think I have a stable connection now. But that means we have to figure out how to set up the printer at home. And I'm a Luddite, so I don't really know how to do that. So my dad is asking me, the Luddite, how to do that. And we're going to have to figure that out. Everyone says you're looking good for your age of 45 plus 5.
Tell them thank you.
He says thank you very much. Anyways. Okay, I'll come after.
Thank you.
So this is the world. This is the world. Hey there, how's it going? This is the world that we're in right now. And I don't know, I think there's something to be said for wishing I'd had time to do a bunch of things and wishing I had time to do these lives. And yes, it's a very, very long time. Yes, lots of positive change. And I just feel really grateful because thanks to certain people like my lovely, lovely friend Alicia, it looks like my podcast is going to be up. So if you've ever attended any of my classes, you know that I always talk for about 5 minutes on something about mindset and about how to shift your mindset while you take it into your practice, while we retrain our nervous system, like because our brain is in our entire body. And basically the podcast is going to be a very similar model, something on mindset and practices that you can do, but also I'm going to have a lot of special guests coming in to talk about different concepts, different things that they excel in. So I'm probably going to get some really cool neuroscientists coming in to talk about the brain, neuroplasticity, how it can regrow our brain at this time. I'm super excited about all of that. So looks like my podcast is going to go live within the week, which I don't know if you're into pods. We're going to be doing that. Hi, Desiree. Hi, beautiful soul. Oh, my God. Desiree is a light in this world. Check her out. And also one of the most beautiful women I've ever seen. Yeah. Oh, sugar. But yes, Happy New Year, everybody. Giant hugs to everyone. Hi, Jamie. Oh, hi, Des. Yeah, so podcast going live, all kinds of things. But again, I'm on here because I was offering up any Q&A time on your meditation woes. So feel free to ask your questions. I think one of the biggest questions is that people are asking me is, why is it all right to have thoughts? Because I have some rules of meditation, and those rules, I always say, the first and most important rule of any and all meditation is you're always doing it right. Um, and I say that it's okay to have thought, it's okay to have activity in the mind, it's okay to feel itchy, it's okay to, and we can talk about itchiness and what that means, like a little bug skin crawling kind of feelings, because all of those are things that matter. Hi, Mathila. But to answer, Shanti had a question, and Shanti asked, how long have I been teaching meditation? And I would say I have been teaching meditation informally for about 20 years. Oh, hi. Hi, beautiful. Oh my goodness. Hi, Mathila. Hey, everybody. I miss you guys. I've been teaching meditation informally for about 20 years and formally for about 10 years, but I have been meditating for 37 years. And yes, my family is doing really well, thankfully. Yeah, so in 37 years of meditating, I think meditation is the kind of thing that you could take a course and learn how to become a certified meditation instructor. But hi, love. Um, but I think that meditation is something that if you take a 2 week course or a month course or get a certificate, I don't think that it actually certifies you to teach anything. I think meditation is something that you must have a practice. You must have spent time doing it to have experiences. I think it is a very experiential process, and it's so unique to every single person. And what I can say is I have never had two meditation experiences in all my years, and I have meditated every day of my life for the last 37 years for at least 15 to 20, at least 20 minutes to an hour every day of my life. And what I will say is that no two meditation experiences are alike. And so to be able to teach something like this, I think it requires you to have experience. But even if you have, hi Darren, even if you have experience in meditation, I don't think that actually gives you the right to teach. I think it is something that is shared, and it is a journey for every single person. I think there's a difference between something, and I posted about this recently, between a lesson that is to be learned one time. Like you can learn math, and that is a finite thing. You learn how to count, you learn how to do addition, you learn how to do subtraction, multiplication, division, brackets, exponents like BEDMAS, whatever. And then you can get on to algebra and different things and different concepts and paradigms and mathematical structure and whatnot. But those are factual things that you learn and you build on. But a practice is something that you do every single day, no matter what. And some things are practices, they're part of your journey that will never go away. They're not lessons to be learned. And I think meditation is one of those things. I'm going to scroll back here because I saw a couple of questions. Desiree, what advice do you have for people who feel that being quiet right now rather than busy allows room for fears to come up? You know, I think that's a really, really cool question, and it ties into Jamie's question on the fear of darkness over a period. Why is it happening? Oh, thank you, Shanti, saying I look like I'm in my 20s. All right. Hi, Andrea. Okay. Well, I think to answer both of those questions from Desiree and everyone, I think that the fear that's coming up, I think that the emotions that are coming up, and I was having a really intense, hi Connie, I was having a really intense conversation with someone about this. And I think that there's a big difference between, oh, my Swedish fan club, I love you guys. I think there's a big difference between feeling
solitude and loneliness, because there's sometimes a feeling, at least I have it from being out around people and being an introvert, where I need my quiet time. I need time to process. And I think so many of us have a hard time just being with our thoughts, and I'm guilty of it too. I remember being a lot more comfortable in silence when I was a child, in being able to not have music playing, not try to control my mood by music. And I am a music junkie. If you've been to my classes, you know that I painstakingly curate music for class. But that said, while I use music and sound and vibration to manage my emotional state, I think there's something to be said for what happens when you are in silence and when you sit with whatever comes up. And there is an aspect of sitting with whatever comes up and allowing yourself to feel what you feel, such that your feelings help you to get clarity on what is happening for you in your mindset. The truth of the matter is, we are triggered constantly in our daily lives. We are triggered all the time. Even if it's just having plans to meet up with a friend and then those plans get canceled, or if it's you meant to go to the gym and you didn't get to go to the gym, or you know, they're like, you wanted to get, you know, for me it's like a chai latte and they were out of like my non-dairy milk, like first world problems. But there are these things where it's like, oh yeah, I like went out of my way because I really wanted that chai, and then the chai didn't happen. And it's like, it's material, but it's human, and these things happen. And we have these little moments of grief, and we have bigger moments of grief. And I have a friend right now whose dog just passed away, and you know, and their mother, and a bunch of things, and they lost their job, and they've got 3 children to support, and single parent, and it's like check off like all of the horrible things that could be happening at once. And so they're like, we go from little bits of grief and big bits of grief and everything that's chaotic right now in the world. And in our day-to-day lives, before all of this stuff happened, we were quite literally having to be present at every single moment of our lives. We had to be present for conversations. We had to be present and positive and smiling for our work connections, for our meetings. We had to show up putting our best face forward, and we don't have time to feel those things. So what we do is we take those emotions and we shove them down. We take those feelings and we shove them down and we push them away. And we don't allow ourselves to feel sad. We don't allow ourselves to feel the grief. We don't allow ourselves to feel angry, to feel upset. We just shove those things away because we think that everything should be okay. We decide that no, I'm not supposed to feel that way. I'm supposed to just feel okay. I'm supposed to just feel happy. And so what happens is, when we sit down in quiet and silence and solitude, Desiree, is we sit down and all of a sudden, all of our emotions that we didn't feel, that we didn't allow ourselves to process, come up at once. All of the thoughts and conversations that your brain wanted to have with you, that you and yourself wanted to have, you don't get to have them, because we tell ourselves, don't feel that way, don't think that way, don't think those negative things. And we don't allow ourselves to process the emotions, the feelings. Hi, Alcina. We don't allow ourselves to process these things. And so what starts to happen for us is all of those neurochemicals, it's like a cocktail of madness. It's too many negative emotional chemicals. And when you sit, and the moment that you sit in silence, when you haven't been allowing yourself that time because your life is busy, because you've just got to keep going and going and going, and you've got to stay strong. One, there's a fear of, if you let go, it'll all come up at once and it'll be too much. But there's also a feeling that, there's also that when you do sit and you don't have a choice, like for instance, when we get sick, or when we get stuck, or when we're on holiday, it's too much. Hi, Matt. It's too much at once. And so all of those feelings, to me, when you have compounded emotions that are negative that you haven't processed, and all of this grief that you haven't processed, and all of the anger that you haven't gotten to process, and all of the conversations that you didn't get to have because you had to be polite and you had to be kind, they come up in the form of loneliness. I believe that loneliness is a confusion of all of the neurochemicals all at once that you haven't processed. And when we sit in silence, or when we're stuck in solitude at home and we're no longer busy or distracted, we now have to feel those things. We now have to process those things. And it is so challenging. It is so challenging because it's all of it at once. And the loneliness comes from being confused. And we're so confused about what we are feeling that there's an automatic sensation that nobody else can understand what it is you're feeling. And it's the difference between listening to yourself, honoring the emotional conversation within yourself, the mental conversation within yourself, the way you would a friend. Because I guarantee you that if you were listening to a friend and they were feeling that way, you would listen to everything that they had to say. You would honor what they were saying with kindness, with love and respect. And if they cut you off, if they didn't listen to you, if they told you, hey, just don't feel that way, hey, just get over it, don't feel that way, you would be really upset. If your friends kept invalidating your feelings, I doubt you'd hang out with them as much, or if they would be your friends for very long. And so what I offer to you in that sense is that when you do find yourself with yourself in your own company, how are you keeping your own company? Are you being kind to yourself? Are you being honoring of yourself? Are you being loving to yourself? Do you listen to yourself with the same respect and love and consideration and compassion that you would like your friends to listen to you with? Okay, a couple of questions here. When we squish and press down and shove and push out stuff down, it turns into depression. Yes, it's 1,000% that, exactly that, Desiree. And hey, everybody. And Connie, to process those feelings, I say sit in them. I actually, do you remember when you were a teenager and like, it just like when your feelings were so much more intense because you had more neurochemicals, just hormonally, you had more neurochemicals flooding through your body. Like it's the time when and those neurochemicals literally form so much of our personalities because we feel those emotions so intensely. And so when we were teenagers and something bad happened, it felt like the world was going to end. And you went to your bedroom, you laid on your bed, and you just laid there and stared at the ceiling. And you sat in the emotion. You just allowed yourself to feel it with every ounce of your being. And it felt like the world was going to end. It felt like everything was over. And it's just heavy, intense, dense, and thick. And almost liken it to the feeling of being in a car and with the doors closed and the windows closed and playing music, and the way the music surrounds you completely, so much so that you're just immersed in it. And it's that same thing that I would honor you. Yes, exactly. It's the same thing that I would honor you to have in your... My dad really wants me to fix the printer. It's the same thing that I would ask you to honor yourself and allow yourself to feel that way. Because when you were a teenager and you laid on your bed and you just allowed yourself to sink into that feeling, you felt everything, and your brain went to the worst catastrophic scenarios of possibility. And each time your brain went to that catastrophic scenario, you'd think, hi, Jillian. You'd think, okay, if this happens, well, I guess if that happens, it happens, and I'll just deal with it. I'll be okay. And you go to possibilities of what you can do, and you just keep running scenarios of the worst case scenario. And eventually you begin to process that stuff, and you realize that, okay, even if the worst were to happen, even if the worst has happened, you're going to be okay. And because you sit and feel those feelings, you feel them out of yourself. Okay, you literally feel them out. You allow them to be processed, because emotions, those neurochemicals, cannot be felt for longer than a few hours at a time. Eventually, the feelings, any feeling, must be processed. But when you shove your emotions down, those neurochemicals hold in your shoulders, they hold in your gut, they hold in your back, they hold in your tissues. right? That's why we get that tenseness, not just not just from breathing into our shoulders. It's breathing into our shoulders and holding everything in instead of processing it out of yourself. And so allow yourself to sink into the emotion, knowing that the emotion will pass. Allow yourself to feel it, not wallow in it, but to honor the conversation, to listen to yourself as though you were listening to a friend and you were allowing them to really share what was going on with them, to empathize with them, to process with them. Because you must be your own friend. And I always say this, if the relationship with yourself is not a good one, none of your other relationships will work. Not the ones with your friends, your romantic partners, your family members, not the ones with your goals or your visions or your dreams or your career even, right? And the things that you're creating. We must process. Yeah. Did that answer your question, Connie? Does that help everyone? Does it make sense to everyone? Oh, Jillian, I miss you. Giving you giant hugs. Yeah, time to practice compassion. Because really, if your friend said to you what you say to yourself in your head, those criticizing conversations of don't feel that way, don't think that way, like we would be like, that is not right. Do not invalidate my emotions. And that's great that you can set that boundary with someone else. But I think the deeper work is teaching ourselves how to be kind and loving to ourselves, teaching ourselves to honor ourselves in that journey and that kindness. Hang on one second. We're having like all these New Year's conversations, and I don't know if you guys can hear all the conversations going on outside the room, but yeah. Anyways, so I love this. I love these meditation questions. Oh, I love you too. Does anyone else have questions? Oh, my pleasure, Matt. Like I said, tonight again, we're going to do another online meditation on the @YYoga channel, so @YYOGA. And then again, I will at noon on Sunday pop on here for a little short. And I don't know about you, but I have been wanting to do my podcast for ages, and it hasn't been happening. And I'm so grateful that that's about to go up. And I have been wanting the time to finish I Cheat at Sleep, and I Cheat at Life, and I Cheat at Happiness. And hi, Thomas. So those books are being finished right now. And I have wanted the time to finish all of my laundry, and like every piece of laundry in my closet is done now. I just have to fold it and put it away. And I've been wanting time to actually get on and do these lives and kind of jump over the hump of my fear of doing them. Hi, Yulia. So I'm just grateful to connect with you all. And if there are questions that you want answered, but you're kind of uncomfortable asking them publicly, send me a DM. And when I jump on tomorrow, I'll answer more of them, or I'll even answer them tonight as well at 10 p.m. Pacific Standard Time @YYoga. I'm going to do a guided meditation. And tonight, it won't be like a direct chakra type of practice, but it's going to be chakra balancing, energizing. It will help you have better sleep. It's going to help us like focus and get back on track in lots of different ways. But yeah, I just wanted to check in with everyone and say that I love you guys, because I do, and I miss everybody. So I'm sending you all gigantic, gigantic hugs. Oh, I'm so happy that you're liking them, Connie. Again, yeah, just, I will be here, and promise me, all of you, if you have questions, send them to me, and I will at lunchtime, on the daily lunchtime, Pacific Standard Time, I will jump on and I will answer them over here. All right, everybody. Again, giant hugs to you all. I want you to stay safe and stay happy, and take the time to, yes, namaste. Take the time to do all of those things that you've been wanting to do. I know, even like binge watch a Netflix series. Give yourself the opportunity to catch up on the rest that you've been wanting to catch up on. And I'm all for a daily routine. I'm all for getting up and doing your exercise and doing all of those things and maintaining that order. And yet sometimes we need a weekend where we binge watch something, and maybe you give yourself permission to binge watch something, or permission to stay in your pajamas all day, or to put your fuzziest ones on when you wake up in the morning, or whatever it is. Honor yourself right now. Give yourself permission to feel, to be real, to acknowledge things. Because I think sometimes also fear is one of those things that if we keep it inside and we keep the conversation in our head, I don't think we realize how silly some of those fears sound until we say them out loud, most of the time. And I think, there's a lot of uncertainty in this time, but I think there's a lot of beautiful things going on, like all of us coming together and sharing messages of love and appreciation and gratitude, families reconnecting. There's so many beautiful things, like the beautiful weather, the clean skies, the ability to see the stars at night, like in a way we haven't in a long time. And so I am grateful for many of those things right now, but most of all, I'm grateful for all of you. And again, giant hugs. I'll see you tonight for the guided meditation, and then again tomorrow at lunch, hopefully. Love you guys. Bye.